Hey guys, welcome to Talkisoba's post-review discussion for...
Welcome to the Ballroom.
Yep. So, as many people know, I'm a big sports anime guy. As you know from my top 10 anime list, my second favorite anime is Prince of Tennis. So I've always really enjoyed sports anime because growing up I did like sports, and I still love sports today. But one of the reasons I like sports anime a lot is because of the characters. Because you inherently have to make them interesting and good to have an enjoyable sports anime. So, most important thing for anime to me is characters. So, any show that has really good characters, I'm going to enjoy. And I think Welcome to the Ballroom did a really good job of that. While Tatara isn't like my favorite sports main character because, like Nate said in the review, he is almost like too slow and stuff to get to where he needs to be. But like I almost feel like the anime ended like right when he like turned a corner. And I think
like I said, episode 22 was when he did something. And I was like, we're just about done.
So I'm curious to see like if the manga ever continues like just to see how he becomes then, because I think he'd be a really interesting character more so than he was during the first couple episodes. But I really liked Welcome to the Ballroom. It was a really fun show to watch. I didn't binge watch it, and just seeing him and Chinatsu at the end was really amazing. And it just made me feel things that sports anime usually does for me. And so that's why I think it's one of my favorite shows of last year.
Yeah, I would say Chinatsu is really a redeeming quality of this anime, because Tatara, I just can't get behind him. This is a competitive sports anime where he's like, I gotta get better. But he's just so And Chinatsu is like really feisty, so Chinatsu, she don't quit. She is raring to go all the time, and she gets real. They had a really dramatic moment where Chinatsu was like, I don't understand you. And so they had like a falling out from it. And I was like, that's real. Tatara was just like, oh, whoops. Too bad. Or Chinatsu was like, no, I'm going to put my foot down and say we're through. Tatara didn't cut that off. It was all Chinatsu. So when they had the moment where the first part with Mako and Tatara, I was like, this is interesting, but they're kind of both did a bit shy and reserved, so it was like they didn't really do a whole lot. And then Chinatsu just shows up, and she's the real main character to me.
Yeah, I definitely liked Chinatsu too, because I did like, Tatara, he's so timid that it was annoying, like, when you could tell their relationship was going awry, that, like, he thought about doing stuff, but he never did anything. And it was really cool seeing Chinatsu actually do stuff to, like, hey, we need to talk about this. And I thought that was really good, cool to see. And, I really, like, whenever they go with Hyodo and Shizuku and all them to, like, the little house where they meet the instructor,
that was great.
Like, this is a pretty cool moment here.
I always love sports camps.
Yeah, so it does follow like a lot of the sports anime tropes Nate mentioned. I mean, it's hard to like go away from that format really. So I think Welcome to Ballroom does some things that are enjoyable, but Tatara himself is an interesting character that I just want to see season 2 just because I think he's gonna be better. But who knows?
Yeah, the manga is definitely continuing. I had to double check, but the hiatus is still ongoing. I think, or maybe just recently picked back up. I can't remember.
Yeah, because, fun fact, the ending of the anime was actually not in the manga. The manga did consult with production IG to, like, tell them how to end it. So it's not, like, it's totally original, like, let's say, the original Fullmetal Alchemist ending. So I'm sure, like, if you're reading the manga, I'm sure, like, Chinatsu and Tatara winning, it's probably going to happen in the manga, too. So if you're, like, can like, pick up right at the manga left off, technically you can. You're just going to have to wait a while.
Yeah. So I was thinking about a major thing. Oh yeah, so one of the things I didn't like about how I don't like ballroom dancing, that I felt that this show, when I'm comparing it to ping pong, is that there was still more character development in ping pong. Ping pong was like extremely character focused, and that was why it was recommended to me. When there was like technical moments of like in ping pong, I was kind of more into it because they were like like twisting backhand hit. I was like, oh my god, he did that. But then in Ballroom, they do the same thing where they're like, a pivot to spin into twirl. And I was like, oh, pivot, spin, and twirl, I don't care. So the fact that even though I don't play and watch ping pong the sport, like, when they got technical in the anime of ping pong, I was like, yo, that's it. But then when Ballroom, they're like, he did the quick step. I'm like, cool, I don't care. I just don't like dancing, so it didn't grab me. But when it came to ping pong, they did more of the characters, not as much in the Ballroom, despite having twice the amount of episodes in Ballroom. So that's where I felt that it kind of, never really grabbed me. Although, like I said, it's sort of different, like episode 12 or whatever. But if you're just someone watching it, you shouldn't take that long to like start to like it. So I had to really get through some dry moments.
Yeah, because I like sports anime a lot, so I've seen a whole bunch of them, and like Person IG does a lot of sports anime, so I definitely think Welcome to the Ballroom isn't like one of their better ones. It's definitely probably in my top 15-ish, I guess, but like
A lot of sports anime.
they're just something that are just better because they're just more fun to watch. Like Kuroko's basketball is like really fun to watch, but has also good character development and stuff. Like A's Diamonds are one of my favorites. So like, it definitely is one of my least favorite sports anime just because I don't think it is cool those dancing moments, but some of it's a little bit like how Nate said, it's like he did some dance, you know. But I do think like them adding to the scenes, especially like well the background, some of the animation that occurs, it makes it a bit more just cool what's happening.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best moments for the more abstract moments, like when he had like the four-legged illusion thing. I was like, that's interesting. That's like a moment we're having that's like, it's not about like doing a literal dance, it's like, it's what's inside.
Yeah, or like when him and Mako were dancing, he kept on like showing her, and there was like that flower.
Yeah,
thing
the
that
frame and the flower.
Yeah, I thought that was really beautiful. I was like, wow, this is pretty neat. So if they had kind of more of those moments, I think I would have liked the show more. And I think also if I was more interested in ballroom dancing as a whole, I probably would have been like, what?
Yeah, I think this is like a automatic recommend for anyone who likes ballroom dancing, because like, how many other ballroom dancing, competitive ballroom dancing anime are there?
Or even like shows in general.
There's like some shows that have ballroom dancing as like a little bit of a thing in there.
Yeah. But
Pretty sure they ballroom to dance once in maybe Oran High School, but like ballroom dancing the anime is like, if you like that, this is for you. If you know someone who's never watched anime, you gotta be like, guys, anime about ballroom dancing. I'm sure they'll love it. I don't know how big it is in the U.S. Is there much of a huge scene here?
Well, I'm sure.
It's already niche in Japan. Japan's a much smaller country, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is. Like, I know one of my friends, he grew up actually ballroom dancing, so it is popular. I'm guessing it's like ballet, right?
Ah, yes.
It's like that kind of niche. If you're a rich person, you're probably going to do it for your kids. So, I mean, I thought it was interesting like getting into the world of it because it's kind of like Yuri on Ice, which was about ice skating, and like ice skating is big-ish when you think about it, but like it's not like taking off, right? So it was really cool like seeing that perspective of it from Japan and seeing like how they feel about it. And I think ballroom is another kind of similar thing where it's
yeah,
like
because ballroom is not like a Japanese style of dance.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had to talk about how like, you know, Japan is like, they talked about how Sengoku was like the only Japanese ballroom dancer to go abroad. Like, you know, ballroom is European, so when a Japanese person rolls up to the European floor, it's like they're the only ones out of all the other European nations. That was, you know, interesting.
Yeah, because I know for Yuri and I, a lot of like ice skaters in Japan were like pretty hyped about it. They were like, wow, ice skating.
Anime for us.
Yeah, but like I know for ballroom dancing, I don't think there are that many like ballroom dancers are popular in Japan that are like posting tweets like, wow, ballroom dancing.
At least a few. Maybe we'll find out.
Yeah, so it definitely is a very niche genre, but you know, it still works. I think I was interested in learning about ballroom dancing, so I did think it was kind of cool, like going kind of step by step and seeing how it is over there. You know, presumably this is a realistic-ish depiction of how ballroom dancing is in Japan.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because I haven't done it, but like I feel like there are at least, for better or for worse, and I don't care about it, maybe worse for me but better for others, there are more technical moments in ballroom. When it came to ping pong, the animation, it's like, how much can you talk about ping pong in the English language? You kind of have to do it. When it comes to ballroom, you can say like steps. This is a very step sort of sport. So there was moments where I was like, yeah, that's a little interesting. Still hate dancing though, just me.
I know, like, whenever I would read the episode discussions on, like, Reddit, they talked about how one of the complaints that some of them did have was, like, this how much exposition is during the dancing moments, and they kind of wish that you could have just seen it more, which I can kind of see. Yeah, I can kind of see what they mean by that, but I also just think, like, if you just see a dance, I feel like...
if you're curious, just go watch a person dance.
Yeah, it's just, like, it's cool, but it's just, like, I don't know if you could really... I guess they did the exposition just to make you really understand why the dancing thing they're doing is pretty cool. Because otherwise, if you're not like a pro or even know what's happening, you would kind of just be like, oh, this is a little cute dance that they're doing. So I kind of can see why they didn't do it. I think that since this does come off the heels of Yuri on Ice a little bit, where it's like, whoa, another weird sport anime. And, you know, Yuri on Ice, I think, had a very big phenomenon following with it, because I do think the ice skating parts were really beautifully animated, and I think it is easier to appreciate that than like something like ballroom dancing, where you have to be a bit more meticulous and slower with it, because that is how the sport actually is.
Yeah, something that pretty much is most everything I had to say. So like I said, like even though I don't like dancing, it's just like it's whatever. But it was an okay anime.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend this as like a sports anime because I think Kuroko basketball or something like that is a bit more enjoyable and it's complete. Actually, like the manga is done, so is the anime. So it's definitely something I'd recommend if you're more into the sports genre and you want to see something that's pretty interesting about it. Because I think if this is your first one, I can see maybe not why you would drop it earlier.
Yeah.
So that's it for us. We'll
Yeah.
see you for another Talkisoba review
Yo.
for some show.
Yep.
Who
You
knows?
better stay tuned to find out.
I don't know what it is actually.
Peace.
Bye.